Hey everybody, can you guys hear me? Maybe I should move the mic closer so I don't have to yell. Hey Christy! Can you hear me okay? Yay! And can you see? Everybody can see and hear? Sounds good? Yay! So hey everybody, it's Melissa from the Art of Scrapbooking. What are you guys up to? So today here it was in the 70s and suddenly it got really, really cold. And by morning we're supposed to have snow flurries. So that's what the weather's like here. Fun, fun. And my little list, she's got a throat infection, which is no surprise with the weather being what it is. We thought she had an earache, but it turned out she has tonsillitis. So fun. Yeah, thanks. They've been sick a lot this summer. Winter. I'm already ready for summer. Can you tell? Hey, Kelly. Hi, Nikki. I feel like I'm yelling. Am I yelling at you guys? The mic is a little bit away from the table here. I don't know. So is the music? I have music on. I'm upstairs again tonight, and I think I've solved the lighting problem that we had last time. So the lighting is a little bit better. Except I'm on the webcam, so I kind of got to watch my. If I get my hands, if I go up, my hands look ginormous. So I gotta, I gotta remember to keep my hands down here. But hopefully the music's not too loud back there. Because it's kind of weird sitting up here talking to myself. So a little music in the background makes it a little less strange. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So you guys made this, Kelly, you made this last week. This is what we're going to be doing tonight. So this is the project. It's a cute little mini, little envelope album. Isn't it cute? And I'm going to open it up and show you the inside. The trick, and I'll show you that at the end, the whole trick to the album is learning how to tie it. Okay, so what's really cool about it is all of the little, hopefully I can, all of the little pages are little envelopes, so you can hide all kinds of little pictures and journaling cards and all kinds of cool stuff up in there. So, cute, cute, cute. Am I a little bit too close? Do I need to pull the camera up a little bit, or are you guys going to be okay? Okay, because I can always adjust it later. So I'm so excited, I have to tell you. Okay, and this is the handout that comes with it. I'm going to be carrying Somerset Studio in my shop, so I'm really excited about that. So this is the newest issue. This is the March-April issue, which hasn't even hit the newsstands yet. And it's in my shop. So that's cool. See, it doesn't take a lot to excite me. Alright, so let me put that out of the way so that it stays nice and neat. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Can I thumb through some of the pages? Am I allowed to do that? Can I do that? Maybe. I'll give you a little sneak peek in the inside here. It says on the cover, Kelly Ray Roberts is in here. And we love her because she's awesome. So, pretty. Okay, that's all I can show. Yeah. Ooh, ah. I love Somerset Studio. I'm going to be carrying art journaling too, but it's a quarterly magazine, so the new one hasn't come out yet. I think it's another month or two. So, exciting. Alright, so let me show you what comes in the kit. You get a yard of sheer ribbon. You get 2 yards of this, actually. This is just what was left on the roll. So I just grabbed that, but you actually get a lot more than that. And you get leaves, because we're going to be making flowers. You get the little brads, and some of them are different, not brads, eyelets. Excuse me. I've had a cold all weekend, so I've had a fun weekend. I guess I'll tell you guys about it, because it looks like people are still logging on, so I'll tell you about my weekend. And if anybody's watching but you're not signed in, you have to sign in to join the chat. So if you want to join the chat, you got to sign in. So, so I had a fun weekend. I thought that it would be, well, my husband thought that it would be really nice to take a last moment impromptu vacation because we've been both working so hard lately and the weather was supposed to be perfect. So we decided to go to our favorite place, Shenandoah River State Park. Has anybody been following the news? Does anybody know what's going on in the Shenandoah State Park? They've had wildfires. So we got up there, and I ended up being kind of sick because we hiked around the park, and I had a head cold, and then I really didn't feel good after that. And then it turned out that there was a huge wildfire. I think it's like 1,000 acres now. That was just over the ridge from the park, and they had to shut the Skyline Drive down, so we decided to leave early, and we couldn't get on the Skyline Drive because that was closed, and we drove for over an hour. It wasn't until we got to Fredericksburg that we cleared the smoke, but it was an interesting vacation. So that's my little relaxing weekend story. Running away from wildfires. Okay, kit. Okay, so you get that. You get some little, we're going to be using 1/16 pop dots. And those are going to be for the front, for the piece that I put on the front cover. Just to give it a little oomph, because most of the pop dots that you find are 1/8 inch, so they give you a lot more height. But these are just little tiny ones that just give you just a little bit of pop. And I thought it would be neat because on the front, you don't want it sticking out too much because it might get knocked off or it might get bent up or something. So, but I thought a little dimension would be good. And I carry these in my shop, but I didn't want you guys to have to buy them special, so because I think they're probably hard to find. I haven't seen them in any stores, and maybe that's just me. But I thought I'd include them in the kit to make it easy for you. And you get the envelope album, which is a Graphic 45 Black Policy envelope album. Let me drag the trash can closer. So you get that, and you get these cool Lost and Found brads by My Mind's Eye. Favorite brads is what those are called. And then you get a ton of paper. So you get, and all of this entire collection, let me turn it up right. This entire collection is by My Mind's Eye, and it's called Lost and Found, the Union Square collection. And they're double-sided, they're all double-sided, and a lot of them are glittered, so they're really pretty papers. And let me make sure you can see that. They're really pretty. I really like that one. That's cute. I like the chandelier. This was a beautiful collection. My Mind's Eye last summer, they came out with all these lost and found collections. I think there's four, I think 3 or 4 of the lines that they did within the lost and found, and they were all just beautiful, gorgeous papers. So you get a lot of paper with this kit. Another glittered one. Oh, Kelly said she had enough paper left over from her book to do a cigar box. That's cool. I got my pink mat up here tonight. I'm feeling a little bit better about that, you know. Gotta have my pink mat. Okay, and if you order, I won't be giving out the measurements tonight, but if you ordered the kit obviously comes with all the supplies or the materials that you need, but also you also get a handout. The handouts, I was emailing them and it was causing some confusion because I was emailing them as people were ordering them, or not as people were ordering them, but in batches as people were ordering them, so like every week or two, I think. But then there were a few people that were confused because I was not clear about it with this kit. And so with the next kit, the Parisian Anthology, I included the instructions in the box for most people. I think I may have forgotten for a couple, but then I emailed them. But to make it less confusing, I think we figured it out. The best way to do it is you can order, when you order the newest kit, which is the portfolio, it gives you the option. It's free if you want the PDF email, which I'll be sending out when the portfolio kit ships. So you'll get, when yours ships, you get the email with the tracking number saying that it's shipped, and then you'll also get the email. You'll get another email from me. That's from the post office. Then from me, you'll get the instructions. So I'll do it all at once. Easy peasy. Or if you'd rather have the paper copy, you have the option of paying $1.50, and I'll print it out and put it in the box for you. That way it'll cover the shipping cost, the shipping and the printing costs, and you have the option. Because some people didn't really want the paper copy. They like the PDF because they have readers or whatever, and they didn't want the paper copy. So this way everybody gets an option. So when you go to purchase it, when you're in the shop, under like the price, there's a little drop down menu that says instructions, and then when you click on it, it'll say either PDF or written instructions in the box. So that way you can decide whether you want written instructions in the box or if you want me to email them. And then hopefully everybody will be happy. It'll be less confusing for me because I'll have a list of who wants the printout and who wants the PDF. So hopefully I explained that well. Okay, enough of me talking. Let's get started. Alright, so if you bought, like I said, if you bought the kit, you have to refer to the handout for the measurements. So I don't give out the measurements, but I will tell you how to put your paper in the trimmer. Okay, so let me set all of this aside, scooch it out of the way. And the first paper that we're going to need to get is this one right here. Whoop, don't want to lose my leaf. Okay, so we want this one. I'm going to set the album right here so maybe you can see it, I don't know. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is cut this piece out right here that says Charming, Adorable, and Ever So Sweet. And you want to come in from this side and cut it so that you don't waste your paper, because we're going to be using the rest of it in the book. And I also, you probably can easily see it because I'm pretty close here, but I also cut out the little ribbon part on the bottom here. So I'm going to cut. You guys chat. Kelly's asking, do I like the pink mat better than the tan one? I do like the pink mat better because I think I got a tan one right here beside me. It's thicker. I hate to say it because I really like my tan one. But it's thicker and it's bigger, and I really like that it's bigger because downstairs my table's really big and I make a ginormous mess, so it's nice to have something that really covers the table. And it's the Tattered Angels. That's what this is. Tattered Angels. They make the Glimmer Mist, and they make the Misting Mat. That's what it's called, Misting Mat. I'm just going to cut into this so that I don't have to try and put the whole piece of paper under the camera. Okay. Now it's a little more manageable. So you guys can't hear the radio in the background because I feel like I'm yelling over top of it. Okay, and this piece, I cut the bow off right here and just kind of went around the bird's tail. But it really, I don't get hung up on, you know, I don't have to do it the same way twice. So if you like the bow, you could cut the bow out. I won't know. Alright, and this is where I did cut the bow out. And I got my good scissors out tonight. Woohoo! I just love these papers. And this color palette is a little bit different for me, but because I kind of, you know, I just wanted to do something different. And because I normally, I don't know, I usually gravitate to blues and blue-greens and yellow and pink and those kind of colors. But I really wanted to do something different, and I love the My Mind's Eye papers. This Lost and Found collection is just gorgeous. So I was really happy with the way it turned out. Okay, that looks good. Let me get this out of the way here. Okay, so I got that cut, and then I'm going to take my brads out. And in the picture, in the instructions in the picture, when I first took a picture of this album, I just did the brad and left it flat. But then I was like, oh, I should probably give this some dimension. So I turned the little leaves up, or the petals up, but you know, you could do that if you want to, you don't have to. It's kind of neat to turn it up. Okay, and then I'm going to put this right about here. You could use an awl or a crocodile, or if you wanted to make the hole. I just punched it right through. Alright, so that gives us our little piece that's going to go on the front. And it's going to get pop dotted on, so I'm just going to go ahead while I've got it out and put the pop dots on the back of it. And the pop dots, like I said, are in the kit. This is probably more than what I really need, but because it's going to be on the front of the album, I want to make sure that it, you know, doesn't buckle or anything. So I'm gonna load them on there because there's plenty of them in the kit. So, all right, so that should be plenty. And I'm gonna set that aside. And then the next thing I'm going to do is cut it's probably kind of hard to see because it's got a couple layers over top of it because we're going to be doing some layering. But we're going to be cutting this bottom section out here to go on the very front. So I'm going to tell you to turn it sideways so that your 17 is up here. And put it in your paper trimmer, and there's a long cut and a short cut. Turn it sideways with 17 upside down and put it in your paper trimmer just like this, and you're going to make the short cut first. And when you're measuring, measure from the end of the bracket, because this is a die cut paper. Oh, my paper fell on the floor. This is a die cut paper. So you have to measure from the little points. Okay, so that's our first cut. Then we're going to cut this end off. So we're going to put our paper in our trimmer. I guess no, this way. You put it in long ways like this, and you're going to cut this end off. So make your long cut this way. So you're cutting off the 17. So put this end up against the long cut, the number that's in the instructions. There you go. So it'll look like that. So you've got a straight edge, and then you've got your die cut edge. Okay? Easy, easy, easy. So I'm going to pull it apart. Oops, and I pulled that. I got the string hung up there. Pulling my book apart. Okay, I got the string hung up, so the page came off. So if this happens, it's super easy to fix. So you just put your page back in there. And the other thing is, once you start putting pictures and things in here, if you feel like your book is getting too thick to close, you can take a page out. So, that's the nice thing about these spiral bound books, is they're easy. So just put it back together and then just give it a little squeeze, just like that. Just like with Zutter binding. I mean, it's the same exact binding. So you know how the Zutter ones, you just do them like that. Okay. So I'll try not to get that hung up again. Alright, so then I'm going to glue this down in here. And the finish on this book is, it's like linen paper, so it's not a slick finish or anything like that, so you don't really need the score tape. You can use score tape if you want to, but it's not necessary. The regular, any kind of permanent adhesive is going to stick to it really well. Okay, so you're going to put it in this way. I line it up from the bottom, so I just line the little points up on the bottom of the page. Just like that. So that's my first layer. And then the next layer is going to be the paper that's got this little Eiffel Tower on it. So the first cut that I need to make is I need to cut right underneath the bottom of the tower, just to cut that excess off. So you're just going to cut that off and discard it. Or save it for the next project. Okay, so I cut the bottom off, and then the next measurement, the shorter measurement, I'm going to turn it sideways so that my measurement is at this end of the tower, and then I'm going to cut it this way. Okay, so it's going to look like that, and then you're going to turn it the other way and cut this end off. So the longer measurement you're going to cut on this side. So it's going to look like that. And again, I'm going to just use the glue glider here, permanent adhesive. Yes, I am recording this. So then I'm just going to line this up so that when I put it in here, I'm putting it in at this corner, and I want the same amount of border on this side as I have at the bottom. So that's kind of more what I'm aiming for. Okay, I like that. Alright, so then the little piece that we did earlier. So you want to make sure you close your book so you can see where this is going to go, because you don't want to put it, if you put it too far over your book, when you close it's going to hit it. So make sure you close your book. I'm taking the backing off my Pop Dots. Yeah, I like these thin Pop Dots too, Kelly. These are nice. Sometimes you just want just a little bit of dimension. Okay, so I'm going to close my book and kind of just put this on here. I usually stand up when I'm making stuff to get it straight, so I think I want to come down just a little. Okay, I think that looks good. And I'll just press it in place and then turn my little flowers up a little bit more. See, that's easy, right? That's all it is to the front cover, just a little bit of layering, and it looks really nice. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and cut all the pages for the inside of the book. And all the measurements for all of the inside pages are exactly the same, so they'll be really easy to cut. Alright, so the first one is the left paper. So we're going to turn it sideways with our rating going sideways and make the smaller cut first, the smaller measurement. And we're going to do this end, and then we're going to cut the strip off of here and do that end too. And you end up with a lot of scrap with this book too, so you have a lot of photo mats or paper to make photo mats out of. So you'll have pieces that look like this, and then you'll have this one that's a little bit bigger because you cut this one, you cut one off the top, one off the bottom. Go ahead and turn this one sideways and cut it to the same width as the other two. So all three of them will end up being the same size. And then they all get cut to the same length. And you want to leave this end, and you want to leave this end. So I'm going to put these together in the trimmer and cut this end off. And this one doesn't matter because we're going to be using the reverse side. So put it in with your the sparkly end at your measurement, your longer measurement. So it'll look like this, and then you'll have all these pieces that look like this left over. These will be nice photo mats, so just save those for put them in your scrap pile for photo mats. I'm gonna have to get another table up here. Okay, so that's the first two pages, and then the reverse side is for a couple pages over. So I'm gonna put this one, and then I'm going to lay this one aside. So then the next one that we're going to cut, and all the measurements are the same, so it's really easy, is this paper with the black and white dots on it. See, it looks like this. So your short measurements, you want to put it in the paper trimmer going sideways because the paper has writing on it. So put your paper in sideways and do your smaller measurement first. And you want to go ahead and cut all three of those. Okay. And then you'll want to cut the length of them all the same. I'm going to cut off this end. So just put them all back in the paper trimmer, and the longer measurement, cut that off. I feel like I have to talk in code. I always want to be fair to the people that buy the kits, so. Okay, so there's the little scrap pieces. Again, we can put those in the scrap pile. Okay, so we got the dots, and then the next set is this side, the reverse side, so I'm going to put it that way. I'm putting them face down, so when I go back, I can just flip them over and they'll all be in order. So then the next one is that damask, which looks like this. Again, all the same measurements, so put it in sideways with your writing going sideways and cut that smaller measurement first. So when I do that with all of them, in this one, the back is all the same and the front's all the same, so it doesn't really matter like where you cut the longer cut. So just put it back in the trimmer and then cut them all down to what the longer measurement is. Okay, so damask. And then we're going to be using this side, so put that face down, and then we'll cut this one. Okay, so for this paper, before we actually cut it, you need to cut 1 inch off the top and 1 inch off the bottom, okay? So, well, and cut your tear strip off and then cut 1 inch off the bottom. Okay, so it's going to look like that after you cut the inch off the top and the bottom. So this is what you're cutting off, the stripes. And this is what you're going to have left. Okay, so first we're going to cut the piece for the bottom that says happy. That's going to be, it's not an actual page, it's just one of the mats that goes on top of the damask. So the measurements in the handout for that. So put it in like this in your trimmer so that the words happy are sideways, and cut that smaller measurement first. Okay, so it's going to look like that, and then cut the longer measurement off of this end. So you put it in this way, so that end will be on the number, and then cut it off. It's going to look like that. And then we're going to cut the paper for the next page. So this is the same as our other measurements. So put it in sideways and cut the smaller measurement first, going this way. So it's going to look like this, and then cut the longer measurement. So you have to turn it this way. Put this on the longer measurement. So that's going to look like that. So let's see, that's this one, right? Damask. There we go. Okay. Hopefully I did that right. I can flip it over. Okay. So now we just tape them in. Oh, I forgot to look at the chat. Is everybody doing okay in the chat? Sometimes I get into those measurements and I forget to look up. Okay, so I'm just going to line this up with the end of the book. I'm going to try not to stick my head in the camera. But it's it's really hard for me to see without standing up. There we go. Oh, and then for you guys that are local, that you bought some of that Preserve Your Memories, this is the perfect project for using the Preserve Your Memories too, because of that glitter on there, it'll help it'll seal it and help keep it from falling off. Alright, so that's our first set of pages. See how easy this book is? It's really easy. Alright, so make sure when you're putting these in, because they have words in there, make sure you put them in upright. Uh-oh, I think I've run out of tape. Get me another one. Okay, I'm going to have to reach across the camera here. Other thing I like about the Glue Glider Pro, super simple to load. Oops. Alright, so words upright. Follow my own rule, right? And you'll notice, normally I ink everything, but I didn't really ink these papers because I don't really think the color of the papers, you don't really need it until you do these little flaps. I did do the flaps, but you can ink them if you want to, but I was using antique linen and I felt like the ink just really didn't show up well on some of these black papers or the ones like this that are already brown. So, but you know that's out of character for me, right? Not to ink something. Make sure I have my book upright. I think my students were impressed with how impressive this book looks, but how easy it was to make. I try to keep it simple. I mean, sometimes it's nice to do projects that, you know, take a lot of work and time and effort, but sometimes it's just nice to do something that's not that difficult, but looks impressive. Alright, so damask. And no, I did not curse. Yet. I don't know, the way this Glue Glider Pro is going, I might be cursing by the end of the night. I don't know. It's kind of stiff. It doesn't want to roll. hope you guys can hear the music in the background since I'm humming. Yeah, they're talking about the fires on the chat. I just looked up. Yeah, we have had a lot of fires here in Virginia, not just where I was at on vacation, but there's been a lot locally too, because the conditions have just been right. It's been really dry, and we've had really heavy winds. I don't know what is up with this. Let me get another one. Okay, let's see. That's the nice thing about having a store. Right? Never run out of anything. Gotta go shopping back there. Okay. Hopefully this one will be better behaved. Okay. Yes, much better. Okay, I don't want to get upside down here, so make sure I got it turned the right way. And if you line it up here against the where the line is where the holes are cut, then all you have to do is line left to right, so it's pretty easy. Okay. Oh, I'll go ahead and put the happy. I'll put that in there while I'm on this page. Yes, this one's much better behaved. Okay. Then the last set of pages. And then this one with the chandelier. I like this page. It's cute. Make sure I'm still upright. Okay. I gotta turn it this way. Oops, that's a little bit crooked. Or maybe a lot crooked. Hey, that wasn't so bad. That was the only one that was like really off. Okay. Make sure all my pages are going the right way. All my little flaps. Okay. So that's the inside. We'll go back. There's a little bit more trim that I'm going to do on the inside, but I'm going to show you how to cover the flap. So you have to take the string out, and it's just got a knot tied in the end of it. The envelope, this is part of the kit. The envelope album came in the kit, but I also have them in my shop where you can just get the envelope album. It's made by Graphic 45 and it's called the Black Policy Envelope album. So it's in there. Let me put up a link. Allow links. Let me put up a link for the shop in case anybody's interested in it. That's the nice thing about when Robert helps me. He can do this for me. Whoops. There we go. I think that's it. Okay, so it's melissasamuels.net. It's really easy. So yeah, you can get, I sell all the individual things there. I have like, you can buy the paper pack, you can buy the brads, you can buy the ribbon, you can buy the envelope album. So you don't buy it all separate. But the kit is such a good deal. Okay, so let me go through my scraps here. And I need this paper. Wow, I got scraps everywhere. Okay, they're like all over the floor. Okay, so I think this to me is like the easiest way to do this is I just use score tape. I'm going to use the 1/2 inch because you want it to really hold well. Hopefully I didn't miss anything in the chat. Keep forgetting to look up. Okay, so I'm just going to put the score tape right along the very edge. Right here on the front. And I'm going to put a bunch of it on there because I don't want it to curl up. And then I'm going to put it around, all the way around the edge. Can't have too much, right? You want to put it around the hole too so that it doesn't come up around the hole. And I'm going to start peeling it back, and then I'll put another piece up against that edge. You could like trace this on the paper and cut it out, but to me this is the easiest way to do it. But you know, do whatever you find easy. Alright, so I've got the whole thing completely covered. And here's the paper that I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to line this paper. I'm going to get my hair out of it. And then I'm going to line this paper up on the very front here. And line it up in the score tape. And with score tape, usually once you get it down, it doesn't come back up. So you want to be careful. And line it up. There we go. Where you want it. Although I do sell undo in the shop too. You can use undo. Okay, so I think I got that on well. So then you just cut around it. And I'm just going to rough cut it out and then go back, and so I'm not fighting with the paper under the camera here. Okay, and then just cut it out along where the flap is. I think that's the easiest way to do it, but you could certainly trace it onto the paper and then cut it out. And then glue it on. So whatever's easiest, but that was pretty easy for me. And if you, like, this is pretty, like I'm cutting this right flush up against it, but you could also, if you felt like it wasn't nice and smooth, your cut wasn't nice and smooth, you could sand it a little bit too. But I don't think I need to do that. But I know there are perfectionists out there. You know who you are. I have perfectionists that take my classes, and I tell them that I am their therapy. Okay, so then I'm just going to stick this in the Crop-A-Dile there and recut the hole. Now there's a brad in here, so you want to be careful and not cut into that brad. So that's how I did the front. And then I'm going to ink it a little bit, and my thing has come off here. I need to maybe hit that with some glossy accents. Or I heard Tim Holtz one time say when the Velcro comes off, he puts a little staple. He has a staple gun that he just puts one staple right down the middle, and then it doesn't come off again. I haven't tried that yet, but because I don't have a huge problem with it. I think this has some vintage photo on it, so it may be a little dark. Maybe I'll use the other side. Because I just want it just just a nice light little bit of color. Oops, and there goes the score tape, right in the floor. Okay. Nice and smooth. Cute. Okay, so now I'm gonna put my ribbon back, or my string, back through the hole, and then I'm gonna retie it. I may have to get the cigarette later. There we go. I think that was a single knot. Let me see if that's gonna stay. Or maybe it was a, actually, you know what? It was a double knot. Too funny. Okay, so I'm going to knot it again. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that's the front. And then you do the same thing on the inside to every other cover. You cover it in paper. And then this one, this is a border strip off of, like, these papers are so pretty. They have these little, the tear strips on them. I thought they would make nice little border strips. So I just cut those off and saved them, and that's what that is. And every other one, whoop, there goes the Distress ink. I need a bigger table. Where did we get another table up here? Okay, so every other one has an eyelet set through it. And with the Crop-A-Dile here, it's got two settings. It's got like regular standard size eyelets is the smaller little thing. I think it's like A and B or C and D. Yeah, C and D. So you want the bigger one because we're going to be setting these huge wide eyelets. So the bigger one, and then I think the bottom setting, I think is 2. So you just put the eyelet through the hole, and then put the hingy downy thing through the hole, and then squeeze it. And I always feel like it's better to not squeeze it too hard the first time because you can always go back and squish it a little bit more, but once you've like squished the heck out of it, it's kind of hard to fix that. So, and some of the eyelets are different in the kits. Some of them are bronze and some of them are copper. So I think it was every other one I said, right, that got eyelets. So we're going to put an eyelet in this one. Oops, hopefully you guys can see okay. That's good. So every other one gets an eyelet. I love these wide eyelets. I sell these in the shop too. I really like the aqua ones. They're so easy to set. I think the wide, if you've ever like had some issues with setting the standard size eyelets, I always feel like the wide ones set so much easier. Like if you haven't set an eyelet before, I think you should start with wide eyelets and then work your way up. Okay, so then also some of these pages, let me see, like this page here. This page I added this little border strip. That's cut out of this right here. The measurements for the width of it is in the handout, but that's what that's cut out of, is this little, the die cut sheet that we started with. So I'm going to put that in there. Trimmer here. Okay, and then the width is the same as the width that we cut of the page. So just like that. Maybe I'll use the red. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to use score tape to put that down since it's so narrow. It'll be easier than trying to fight with the tape gun. So you can do as many pages like that as you want. I did that page, and then I think I did the red one on here. So I'm going to cut another border strip. I've got my paper trimmer propped up here beside me, so it's kind of... Okay. So that's cute. I love these little borders. Okay, so that's cute. And then this one, that little piece there, that's out of here. So you can just put it in the paper trimmer and cut it. You want to leave the top and the bottom of the frame. So I'm going to use that as a guide. Actually, I'm going to turn it this way first and cut it alongside the frame so that I don't waste all this. I think my paper trimmer is really old. I think it's starting to get out of alignment a little bit. Okay, so I just cut that out like that. And let's see. I just want to cut this. Just kind of cut it out along the frame and left I actually cut the rounded part off. I don't know if you can see it. And just kind of come in at an angle like this so that it fits better on the page. And then I followed the bird cage there to round it out. So I didn't have to cut all the detail out. Okay, so that looks pretty good. You trim it up a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to take this in. I got to stand up to get it straight. And I'm going to turn it sideways. Alright, so I think that's basically it on the inside. I'm not going to cover all these flaps because I think you guys know how to do it now. And this one gets covered in that red paper. I think it was the extra, yeah, this one that we just cut up. So, and that one had that border strip, so that's easy. And this is the same as we used on the front cover. And some of this I cut up this border strip here like this. I use just scrap pieces. So what I always do when I'm making my mini albums is I'll cover all the pages and then I'll go back and I'll use the scraps to embellish and do all that good stuff with. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to make the flower for the front. And then after that, actually maybe I'll show you how to close it too right now. So I'll show you because I'm going to go ahead and tie it. So I just put the string right down the middle, and then you come up through here. So you have to go under. So pull the piece that you know, this piece here, pull it under. Can you guys see okay? And then pull it to make a loop and hold the loop and then wrap the other end where you made the loop through like you're tying your shoes. I told somebody that in class the other night and they said that's not how I tie my shoes, but that's how you do it. I thought it was a little tricky because when I first opened it I didn't pay any attention at all whatsoever to how it was tied together, and I opened it and then I couldn't get it back. So, okay, so then we're going to make the flower. So you want to start with a circle that's about it's about 1.5 inches, I think. And if you have a circle cutter, that's fantastic. I don't have one up here. I had one, but it broke. Alright, so I'm going to start with a 2-inch square, and I'm going to cut it. And it doesn't have to be exact, and you'll see why. Okay, so maybe just a little bit smaller. Oops. So it just should resemble a circle. It doesn't have to be like full-on perfect circle. Okay, so that's about the size I'm looking for. So it's about 1.5 inches. Okay, this is the fun part to me. Alright, so there's 2 different ways you can do this. I should probably make 2 small ones. Okay, so you can either use Fabri-Tac or you can use score tape. If you use score tape, you just take the score tape and just completely cover the circle with score tape. I'm going to show you how to do it with Fabri-Tac because I really like Fabri-Tac. I love score tape too, so. But this, it's kind of like the other video that I did. If you guys saw the video that I did about the fabric flowers, it's a very similar concept, but you're not going to be twisting. So you just want to start with some Fabri-Tac there in the middle, and I'm just going to take my pleated ribbon, and I sell this in the shop too. I have like red and green, and then I have grosgrain. This one's satin. So I'm just going to roll it up a little bit just to get it started. And then I'm going to put it down in the Fabri-Tac, and then I'm going to twist. And I'm going to hold it there while it's drying a little bit, and then I'm going to add some Fabri-Tac as I go. I didn't cover the whole thing in Fabri-Tac when I started because if I have to undo a little bit of it, I don't want the whole thing to be covered in adhesive and then it'll be like a ginormous mess. if I have to pull it back up. So you just roll it around. And you can either, usually what I do is I start kind of tight in the middle. And then as I get to the outer edges, I get a little bit looser with it. So I pull it a little bit looser. But this is similar, but as the fabric flowers, and with the fabric flowers, those I actually twisted. These you don't twist, you just kind of wind it. And you can kind of squish it once you get to the outer edges, you can squish it a little bit and you'll see the pleats kind of fluff out a little bit. Alright, so let me add some more. And these are really easy. And they look so pretty. And Maya Road makes this ribbon, and they make these flowers like this that they sell, but you can obviously see you can make your own. You don't need to buy them. Alright, so as I get near the outside edge there, I kind of squish it and spread it out a little bit so that more of those pleats are opening up. And I'm almost to the end. And there's enough in your kit to make 2 of these. So if you make the first one and you absolutely hate it, you don't have to worry. There's more. There's enough to make 2. Alright, so this one, I rolled this one a lot tighter than I rolled that one. So this one I kind of had it really tight. And just cut it and then add some adhesive and tuck it. And if you get to the end and you decide, like I used this red paper, which probably wasn't the best choice, but if you decide your flower's way bigger than what you want it to be, just stop with the ribbon and then just use the scissors to trim up your flower like this. So you can cut off the excess. And that one's already glued into place there. So you can cut off that extra so you can make it smaller. So that's why it doesn't really matter what, it doesn't have to be exact when you start. Because once you get to the end, you can just trim it up to whatever size you want it. Okay, so that's our flower. And then this one, I just put a hole right in the center using the crocodile. And you want to be careful when you do this so you don't, so you only get the middle and you don't cut your ribbon up. Because this one's really fluffy. Alright, so there's my hole in the center. And I'm going to stick one of these brads. I love these little kind of gray pearl brads. I'll stick that right through the center. But you can make these all kinds of different ways. You can, do them tight like this one. This one's a lot looser, so you get a totally different effect. So they're really fun to play around with. Alright, and then I added 2 leaves. So you have, like I said, you have enough, you have 2 yards of this in your kit. So you have enough to easily make 2 flowers, and you have 4 leaves. So, and I kind of put mine in my leaves in a V like that. I'm going to just tape them together with score tape. Kind of like that. And I'm working on my non-stick craft mat, so even though I've got adhesive sticking out everywhere, it's going to come right up off of this mat. And that'll help me kind of position it the way I want it. Alright, so I got my little leaves on there. Cute. This one's a lot bigger than the other one. Okay, so then I'm going to just tape it to the front of the album. And it's probably best to do this while your album is closed so that you get it in the right place. And I'm going to use score tape. But you could use any kind of adhesive like glossy accents or something like that. Alright, so I'm going to just glue that on like that. And then this one I put brads on either side of it. And what I did to get the brads on there, let's see, where's this cute one here? Because I didn't want to have to put a hole. If you put a hole through here to put the brad in, you're going to have to cover up the back side of your flap there. And I didn't want to have to do that. So what I did was just turn the brad down and then just tape it on. Ha ha ha. And if you have any problem, like if the score tape, because this is on the front and it's opening and closing, if you have any problems with it trying to come up, you can just use glossy accents, because it's definitely not going to come up if you put glossy accents on there. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck this one a little bit. And see, that way I don't have to go back and cover up any holes. And then I put another one over here, but this flower is so big, I may have to put it down here. Okay, I swear that's the music playing. I'm not humming. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go ahead, because that was one of the things with it opening and closing a lot. I did go back with the other album and put just a dot of glossy accent there, just to really hold it in place. I'm just going to open it up and hold it until it dries for a second. It only takes a second. Okay, so that's it. And then you've got this black ribbon that you can tie on the edges, the little sheer ribbon. You just cut it up into little strips and tie. I tied one at the top and one at the bottom and one in the middle. But that's it. It's really easy. Simple, right? With the flower, you twisted the, I don't know, you may have asked that a half an hour ago, Deborah. I'm sorry. I just now looked up at the chat. You twist or don't twist. You just kind of wrap the ribbon around and just kind of flatten it out a little bit as you go to do it. You don't twist it like you did in the other, like I did in the other video with the flower. You just kind of more wrap it around. Awesome. Sorry about that. I just looked up. Hopefully you haven't been waiting for that answer. But that's really easy. So I think that's it. You guys have any questions? I showed everything, right? I've got a head cold, so I feel a little kind of loopy. Oh, thank you, Nikki. I'm glad you like it. I think it's cute too. I like it. That flower is a lot bigger than the other one. I pulled it a lot tighter, which is kind of neat that you can get so many different effects. So you guys want to see the next project? Woohoo! Next project. Let me get some of this stuff off my desk. Oh, and there's so much stuff in the shop. I got all the new limited edition Glimmer Mist colors. They are in the shop now, along with all the new chalkboard colors. And like I said earlier, Somerset Magazine is in there. And what else new? New Graphic 45 Curtain Call, new Graphic 45, that circus paper is in there. And when I was on vacation this weekend, if you can call it that, I made a bunch of cards out of that curtain call paper, the 8x8 pad, because I really liked it. And I'm really pleased with how they turned out. And I'm going to be featuring those on the blog all this week. So make sure you check with the blog. Oh, and there's lots and lots and lots and lots of new Prima that's coming. but I just have not had a chance to put it in. It's been kind of a busy day today, and Lilybug has been sick, so. Yes, I'm going to get the new stains. I check daily to see when. It would probably be easier for me just to call them and ask them when it's gonna be in stock, right? But I've been checking the website daily with Ranger to see when they're gonna get those new stains, when they're gonna be available. It says they're shipping in February, so it should be really soon. Okay, so the next class that I'm doing is gonna be these cards, the Parisian Anthology cards. This one is going to be, I think, March 7th. And I really like this one. It's got this little magnetic closure. And there'll be white paper inside of them. And you get the stuff to make the envelopes too. The cool thing about this one, let me show you the kit. So this is the kit. You get all this goodness. You get vintage paper. You get material to make 6 cards and 6 envelopes. We'll be making this 4, so after you play around with making these, you'll have enough material you can make 2 more on your own. You get studs and magnets and clips and these little grunge paper die cuts. You get all this ribbon and flowers, all the little trims. You get 3 sheets of cardstock there. Oh, and obviously you get all the Parisian Anthology paper, which is inked, which is really cool. So you get the element sheet, but then you get all these papers that you ink. So all these papers start out white, and then you ink them. So it's really cool. I really like these cards. So this is the kit for that. This is still available. I still have more of these. There's still spots available in the class on Friday at Glen Allen. So, and then I'm really excited about the next mini. Well, it's not a mini album. It's going to be a portfolio. I wanted to do something different, so I'm doing this portfolio. It's called Gypsy Journeys. So if this was just released last week. So, but how cute is this? And look at the back. And you open it up. Because I love minis, but I thought it'd be fun to do something different. And this one I thought would be really good for a travel journal. So if you're traveling this summer, you can you'll make this little journal pad here, and you can keep notes of your travels, and you can put pictures in here, and you've got all these little tickets, and you've got these little tickets, and then you've got this little it's kind of like a little mini book that you make that you could put pictures in. You could do journaling, so it's kind of really neat. I like that. And it's got a little pocket that you make to hold all your goodies in. So this one is going to be a lot of fun because it's something different. So I'm really excited about that one. Let me show you the kit. I haven't put the kit together. All the stuff for the kits should be here probably no later than Monday, I'm hoping. But you get some chalk ink, you get mesh, you get some jute, you get hand-dyed seam binding. I dyed this myself because that's how much I love you guys. And some ribbon rulers, some sequence waste. You get a bunch of hardwares in here. You get all these cute little mini, I don't know what these little, the little cards. They're cute. You get all these journal pages. You get the portfolio. You get all this hardware, all this cute stuff. Oh, and you get my favorite, Rub and Buff. You get a little thing of Rub and Buff, so don't have to go out and buy Rub and Buff. And then you get the whole collection of the new Seven Gypsies Lil paper that just came out. You get the whole collection. So this kit's loaded. So lots of goodies. Oh, I love the Rub and Buff. The Rub and Buff is not in the store today, but it just came in today, so hopefully tomorrow I'll be getting it put into the system. Rub and Buff is, it's like gilding for frames. I think framers use it, but I use it on the metal, but I also use it on the book too. I mean, you can use it on paper. I've been using it a lot lately on some of the projects on the blog where I've done some flowers where I've used Rub and Buff on the edges. So, it's a lot of fun. And it smells really good. Yeah, so hopefully tomorrow, I was planning, the Rub and Buff just came today. I got the Prima stuff and I was hoping to get that in today, but Lily, when I got home today, she sat in my lap pretty much all afternoon, and it's kind of funny because she's really sick. She's got a fever and, her throat hurts and she hasn't been able to eat. But that child talked to me for an hour nonstop just before I came up here. It was funny. She was kind of wound up, so. Does anyone like the smell of StazOn? Generator. Yes, I love it. It smells so good. I love it. Yes, StazOn smells good. You don't really. Yeah. It reminds me of some grape something from my childhood. I don't know what grape. I don't know, something. You guys are so funny. So that's the kit for that. I'll put these up here so you guys can see them. And don't forget to check out the blog, because hopefully all week long I'm going to be featuring those cards, and the one that I'm going to put up Friday is really pretty. I mean, they're all pretty, but Mama's got to have a favorite. Oh, almonds. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Maybe that's what it is. It smells like almonds. You guys are so funny. Okay, so now I'm actually looking at the chat. So if you guys have anything that you asked me earlier and I wasn't looking up, you can ask me now because I'm paying attention. Oh, Kelly, did you see the other day where I put on Facebook about the Rub and Buff? It was... I better not say it. I don't want to offend anybody. Oh, StazOn. What is StazOn? Yes, Nikki, I do ship to the UK. I've shipped a lot to Australia, UK. I ship a little bit to Singapore. I ship all over Canada. Ship all over the place. StazOn is a permanent ink that is waterproof, so it's really good when you're doing like art journaling or anything that you're going to be using wet over top of it, like if you want to watercolor over it or use a dye ink over it, or like a acrylic wash or something like that. It's not going to bleed or fade or anything like that. You're not going to get any bleeding. Like if you use something like a regular dye ink, it would bleed. So that's what's really nice about StazOn. Archival ink is the same thing. It's a permanent ink, just like StazOn. The shipping internationally, or I guess it's the same nationally too, it's based on weight. So if you can keep it under like 2 pounds, usually it's not too bad. and just a little FYI for the, I have a lot of people that pre-order the kits. They like to get that 10% discount. That's the thing. This kit right here, because I just released it, until the 28th, it'll be 10% off. So if you pre-order before it starts shipping, you'll get 10% off. And if new product comes into the shop while you're waiting for your pre-order, you can place another order for any of the product that's come in, and just write me a note in the comment section to put with your ship with your first order. And most of the time, there's no extra shipping, because once you've paid that first shipping, because it's usually once you get up over 2 pounds domestically, it doesn't really add much at all for shipping, to add anything extra to your order. So you can always add it, and I only charge you basically what I get charged, what the what the estimate is online, because the Postal Service, they do my shipping estimates for me. So you can just place your order and tell me to ship with your other order, and I leave all my payments pending in PayPal until I accept, or until I ship them, and then when I accept your payment, I'll only accept what your shipping cost actually was. Yes, and Deborah knows this because Deborah starts her tab on Monday. Right, Deborah? I love Deborah. Deborah keeps me in business. But that is, it's very easy for me to do. It's not a big deal at all. So it's, I'm more than happy to do that. I put the link up again in the chat here, but it's for anybody who's watching the recording, it's going to be melissasamuels.net. That's MELISSASAMUELS.net. So just my name.net. And I'll put the link up. I got to reach over the camera. Well, I got to click in the chat first. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. So that's the link. Hopefully somebody will click on it and it's working. Yay. And there's all kinds of, I've been putting new stuff up pretty much every week. So, and today, and sometimes, you can look in the latest section and there'll be brand new stuff that comes in. But I also do a lot of restocks. Like today, I had a lot of people asking last week for that big tag die, the Tim Holtz Alterations, the Sizzix die. So I had a bunch of those come in today, and oh yay, thanks. Thanks for checking the link. Oh yeah, the Big Shot is wonderful. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I am not a die cut person. I've said that a gazillion times. But because Tim Holtz makes all those amazing, amazing dies, it's kind of converted me. And I've tried the Epic 6 and I really don't like it. But I love the Big Shot. Am I getting the Prima Vintage trinkets? I don't know if I'm going to get those or not. I may. I'll have to look at them again and see. But I may get those. They are cute. Yeah, I have a Cricut too. I bought it when they first came out, and I've cut maybe 2 or 3 things with it ever. Yay, thanks, Kelly. Yay, that's fantastic. See, that's great for anybody that in class if you didn't get finished. Oh, Deborah, you have the Cuddle Bug. The regular Sizzix dies, like the big dies, like the Tattered Florals, they work in the Cuttlebug, right? Because I've had a lot of people ask me, and I know that the embossing folders do, and I thought the big dies did, but I wasn't sure. Okay, yes, but without the platform. Okay, because I've had a lot of customers ask me about that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, you know, the Cricut, it's nice, but those are just, they're the, like, full size. Let me see if I can find one. They're like this. You know, they're the bigger size dies that look like this. And there's a bunch. I have the tag. Those just came in today. I think they're, I don't know if they're up here. I think they are up here. Let me check. Because I had a lot of people asking about that. Yes, they are. This is what people wanted. Everybody's wanting these, and I was having a hard time keeping them in stock because I've ordered them a couple times, and then they went on back order. But I wasn't able to get them from Ranger, but I was able to get them from my distributor. They actually had them in stock, so those came in today. No, you need, for these, you need two of the clear cutting mats. So you just sandwich it between the two thin clear cutting mats. The ones that look like, I have those up here too. Look like this. So there's two of the clear ones in there. So you just sandwich it right in between that. And they come with your Big Shot. So you just don't need the platform. The platform is for the embossing folders. So the little embossing folders that look like this, those you'll use on the platform. And there are probably other dies. I mean, I don't know a lot about any of the other dies, but there are probably other dies that Sizzix makes that you would use the platform with, but you don't need them with these. With these. You just need the spellbinders. That's what I was thinking. The nestabilities and all those. So does the Cuttlebug dies. Oh, and the Cuttlebug dies. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's really, I think seems complicated because there's so many different, there's the Cuttlebug, there's the Epic, there's the Big Shot, but most of those machines now are universal. So it's just a matter of getting the right platform combination. So, and the Big Shot's really fantastic. I don't have mine up here. But the platform, it's got several different layers so you can kind of get the right thickness, because it's all about getting the right amount of tension in there to cut the die. Hi, Kira. Yeah. Yeah, now it's always good to know Sizzix makes the Big Shot, so anything that says Sizzix on it's going to work in your Big Shot. So just look for Sizzix. That's easy. Easy peasy. Look for Tim Holtz because he's awesome. Oh, and I see Deborah said that the ultra thin dies you need to use the platform with too. Yeah, Tim Holtz stuff is so awesome. I love it because you can alter these dies so much. Once you cut these out, there's so many different things that you can do with them and alter them in so many different ways. Yeah, he's awesome. He's a rock star. But I've been watching Ranger because they're one of the distributors for all of his stuff, and I've been watching their website because that's where I get my Sizzix stuff from. I know I should probably go to Sizzix, but whatever. I like Ranger because they're quick and easy. But I've been watching them for all the new dyes that are coming out because he has made some amazing dyes. I mean, he's just designed some awesome stuff. So as soon as it comes out, as soon as it's available, I'm going to be getting it and putting it in the shop. So I love the dress form that he's done. He's got the guy with the umbrella in the car, and I mean, there's so much. The banners are amazing. Yeah, the new dyes are just awesome. I can't wait. As soon as they hit the market, I'm gonna get them. I'm waiting. Yeah, that butterfly one. I had a couple people ask me about that one. I think I'm gonna have to get that one for the shop. The Flights of Fancy or something. Flights of something. Yeah, yep. The guy and they're the guy with the umbrella and the car. They're in his. It's the same image that's in his stamp set. So, can you imagine all the different ways you can alter that and all the different things that you could cut it out of? I used this die. I did a blog post about this one where I cut a set of these out of Webster's paper, and then I cut a set of them out of the Webster's vellum, and then I cut a set of them out of the Webster's netting, and then I layered them all together, and I mean, they were beautiful, and it was so easy, and it was just one of a gazillion ways you could do. I cut it out of corrugated paper, totally different look. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, at first I kind of thought that, but once you put them all together, it looks pretty good. But make sure you check out the blog a lot because I try and post up there some ideas on different things that you can do with all the stuff that I sell. So it's always nice to have ideas or different perspective on what to do with it. So what else have you guys been waiting for to come out? Anything in particular? Oh, somebody said they use a pointed one as a leaf base. That's cool. The quick cut dies worked too, but I like the hand tool better. Easier to get out for me. Yeah, I think Quick Cuts went out of business, didn't they? I know, you guys are always full of good ideas. Yeah, I know where one of the places I was teaching at, they stopped carrying them because that company, they manufactured the Epic, which was there was like huge problems with that where they had over tightened them and they had bearing issues and then I think they were phasing out the quick cuts and I had heard they were in bankruptcy because of the Epic. I know that made a lot of people sad that like quick cuts. But I don't know. I mean, that was last year, so I don't know what's happened since. I don't follow. Like I said, I'm not a die cut person, so I don't follow that. But I love the Tim Holtz dies. So if it's not Tim Holtz, oh, okay. So Deborah says that she thinks they reorganized and there are two different companies now. Okay. I was wondering, because I know they were having some huge issues that were brought on by the problems that they had had with that Epic. Oh, thanks, Nikki. Thanks for watching. I'm glad to get to chat with you.
Craziest thing I've heard in a while, Miley Cyrus, the same lady that got caught smoking salvia a week ago. Yeah, she just received an award for youth leadership. It's on my blog right
Well, I guess, guys, if you don't have any more questions for me, I guess I'm gonna go. Gonna go see if I can give Lilybug a kiss before she's completely asleep. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks. And I enjoyed chatting. And I think my next show is going to be March 7th. I had to think about that for a second. I think it's March 7th. I don't know. You can go to the shop and see. But oh, yes. I'll show you what I made. And this is recorded too, so you can go back. You guys, does anybody know what I do with the books? Melissa strikes again. Okay, so this is what we made. We made this, and I was sold out of this kit that we did tonight, but excuse me. I just had some more come in today, so I think some of them I had to save back for a class that I'm doing this weekend somewhere else, but I think there's like a handful of them in the shop. So, and this was how it ties. So cute, cute, cute. And each page is a little envelope. That's like the really cool thing about it. So it's got all these little envelope pockets where you can put your pictures or journaling cards. So cute. Flip, flip. Okay, so if you just tuned in, you can also watch in just a few minutes, the recording will be available. So once I sign off, and then that way, if you want to watch it, you can. Alright, thank you. Oh, I'm glad you like it. I like this one too, because I like sparkly, and it's got a lot of glitter in it. Makes me happy. Alright, you guys. Well, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you. I guess that's March 7th. That's 2 weeks, so I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I don't think I have a show next week. So, thank you. I will. Thank you guys so much, and I will chat with you in a couple weeks. Thanks for watching.